Well, you're right. Our streets are in bad shape. There's a couple reasons for this, but a key one is funding. And the reality is, there's been a few things that have happened in the last 30 or so years that have really affected cities across the state, their ability to provide funding to do larger capital improvement projects, which is what a lot of our streets need. Two of those key things back in the 90s, there was a change in vehicle licensing funds. It used to be that some of the money of those vehicle licensing fees came into cities and allowed us to assign that to street improvements. Then there's the 1% cap on increase in property taxes, which you've probably heard us talk about a lot. It affects all areas of city operations, but that was passed in the early 2000s. And since then, it's limited to 1% what we can increase our property tax for on an annual basis. Most of our street fund comes from general expense. And so what that means is less than a third of the property tax that we receive from our residents is being able to get allocated to streets. And that's because of increased costs elsewhere. So while we are able to maintain for our crew to do potholes, asphalt repairs, some of those more surface level improvements, the comprehensive improvements we need citywide to really go in and truly repave some of our worst streets will require larger investments. Council is looking at a few options now of ways to increase funds that the city could access. And we're also pursuing grants, but we're bringing before council a plan to really up the emphasis on trying to secure funding and attack some of these projects and really make some noticeable improvements on streets in the next year or two.